Good to see you, brother. Wait. I can see it in your eyes. You've seen into the spirit world. The Protoss. He gave you a crystal. And now you've been seeing what he's seen.
That ain't nothing to do with you. Stay out of my head, Tosh.
Have it your way. But you want to trade careful when you go looking into the beyond. If you need me, you know where I'll be.
All right. StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. Episode 13, A Sinister Turn. This is the second prophecy mission. We're getting underway.
I gathered allies, and we made our way to the forbidden archive world of Zakuul. There, a triumvirate of mystic preservers awaited us, and in the shadows, something else was watching and waiting.
All right, Zeratul, old buddy, you got your mysterious prophecy. Now let's see what your preservers made of it.
My quest to decipher the prophecy took me to the forbidden archive world of Zakuul. Here, 3 immortal preservers guarded ancient knowledge. Only they could transcribe the prophetic fragments. I needed to seek them out quickly. It is strangely silent here, yet these structures are intact. With power, they would be functional.
Okay, so here we go. Like I mentioned last episode, the second, third, and fourth prophecy missions are full-blown RTS resource management style missions. Now, Zeratul is not in this one. He'll be in the next 2. And again, we have to play Protoss out of nowhere. And the first step to learning or remembering, whatever the case may be, how to play Protoss is that the buildings need power, and that comes from the power pylons, the little spinning kind of crystal-looking things.
The mighty spirits of the preservers are imprisoned close by. We must find them.
Okay, the next very basic and very important dynamic of Protoss building is your workers. They're called probes. They don't have to sit there and build something. They simply come over to the spot where you tell them to build it, and then it starts sort of phasing in or summoning in. So they can immediately go back to doing whatever you need them to do.
There are many abandoned structures in this place that we can make use of. They merely need their power restored by the construction of a few well-placed pylons. My life for iron!
The preservers you seek serve a higher power now, Dark One.
Gassar, they comply. For our Artanis. Higher power? What could have corrupted these Protoss so? Truly, something foul has taken hold of this sacred place. A robotics facility. This structure may prove useful to us. Na Adan Akton. Protoss and Zerg hybrid. Gods, an abomination. Who created this atrocity?
Come, my slaves. The time has come to give me your strength.
I return to serve. My thanks, mighty one. A dark shrine. Once power is restored, it could be of great value to us.
Upgrade complete. Zeratul, truly fate has sent you here.
Join me, brothers, and we shall cleanse this place of evil.
Command us.
This knowledge is forbidden.
Okay, so a lot going on. I'm gonna have to get to it when I can, but first and foremost, this evil hybrid coming to attack us.
It is destined.
I shall return. Come, my slaves. The time has come to give me your strength.
The hybrid is draining the preservers to survive. I must free them before it is too late.
Your lives are forfeit. Surrender to despair.
Undara Manakai.
Okay, so you can see there the hybrid is already reincarnated and he's coming back to attack us. And there's also these other sort of Protoss on the map. There's actually 3 other bases of Protoss that are going to be attacking us. So this is a real pain in the ass.
Your doom is only delayed.
Okay, as for some of these other units that have joined us, they coincide with the bonus objectives to restore power to these other types of Protoss buildings.
Resistance ends this day.
The 4-legged robot thing with kind of cannons for arms, that's called an immortal. And that came from the first building we restored power to on the left, which is called a robotics facility. And we went ahead and built a new one just to the right of our nexus there. It's kind of circular. And then the sort of cloaked-looking guys, those are Dark Templars. That's what Zeratul is, actually. And that came from the building to the right that we restored power to, called the Dark Shrine. And then we're going to get a High Templar later, but we have to restore power to the 3rd building.
Merely a temporary setback. Come, my slaves. The time has come to give me your strength.
Now the other thing to note is, see how I'm putting pylons in the back there. Pylons in Protoss, they don't just supply power, they're your supply line, like a supply depot. So they impact your population capacity.
Some secret
And as for, restore power to these buildings, and then these other guys sort of join your forces, and then now you can build those types of buildings and summon those types of units. I think it's just the mission's way of kind of giving you a refresher if you haven't played, StarCraft in a long time, or if you've never played it, just sort of a quick primer on, hey, this is how you play Protoss, and you need this building to summon this unit, etc., etc. Now, speaking of research and all this amazing research we're getting from doing this prophecy line, I actually don't spend it until we're completely done, because I want you to just see it all at once, and I want to sort of talk about each choice for each project as we select it in the laboratory.
You require my skill. I am here in the shadows. We are one with the shadows.
Return to serve.
Intriguing.
I go together my strength.
Cold is the word.
Okay, as for our base and our force, you see I'm building up the Immortals, the sort of cannons for arms, four-legged robot guys. Now, they can't hit air units, only ground, but they hit really hard. If you could get about 8 to 10 of them, you can completely contain the hybrid.
Cease your foolish struggle. There is no hope.
As for the other stuff, it's always good to have some zealots in there. They're the basic infantry for Protoss. They have that sort of quick sprint burst charge. Now they just do melee and they can't attack air units, but they're really, really tough and they hit really, really hard. So basically, you want Immortals because they hit like a truck. And then you're going to want some Stalkers, which are the kind of, they actually look a little bit like Zerg, the creepy crawly spider things. And they can hit air and land.
Enjoy your fleeting victory. This is not over.
So you definitely want them in the mix, because as you press on and out and start to challenge the other Protoss on this map, you're going to encounter some air units. So you're going to have to be able to take down air units. So that's why the Stalkers are in the mix.
Some secrets must remain hidden.
As for those things right there, the little circle kind of star-looking units, they're like a missile turret. They're called a photon cannon, but they can hit both air and ground units, and they're a detector, so they can pick up stealth units. So they're a very, very versatile turret. And you're probably noticing that the hybrid is getting stronger and stronger each time he comes back. So you're not going to be able to just turtle back here and build up which, as you know, is not my strong point. I like to turtle, build up, and then head out once both defense is good and offense is strong. So, again, it doesn't play to my strengths, but
Your existence ends this day.
but I'm almost ready. I mean, it looks like I have a lot, but you can just wipe real easily on this map, going up against the other stuff and trying to contain the hybrid along the way, and then come back to your base when it gets attacked and you're not there. So it's a very sort of tricky dance to dance on this mission.
I return to serve.
We are one with the shadows. I am here in the shadows.
So it seems like I'm just wasting money on these photon cannons, but they're a great distraction, and they do damage and they buy time. So they need to be there at least for now, and I'm finally ready to start pressing out. So let's see how this goes.
Some secrets must remain hidden.
Okay, just kidding. I'm not ready to move out yet. No, what happened there is I started to summon some more immortals, keep, building units while I strike out, but then, I needed more supply lines, so stopped to build more pylons, and by then the hybrid was almost to the base, so I might as well come back, take care of him, and now I'm going to press on.
We are one with the I am the voice of the state thy bidding.
Base is under attack.
Skills. Intriguing. Shall be as you say.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
Very well. We move unseen.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, a little bit of progress, really good actually, but had to come back and fight the hybrid again.
Return to serve.
But this is good. We're doing pretty well here. Now the other really fundamental dynamic about Protoss that we should probably mention right away is that there isn't any healing and there isn't any repairing. But what they get in exchange, if you can think of it that way, the balance comes in, and that they all have shields. You see, they all have a blue health bar above their main health bar, and it makes Protoss very hardy, and it makes their buildings very hardy.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
Because not just the units, but the actual buildings themselves have an energy shield that absorbs damage. So,
Very well.
yeah, it sucks that you can't repair or heal, but if you can keep things just, out of the fray and get them to rest for a little while, then that shield regenerates and then can regenerate again later and again later, so they're a very hardy race.
This Templar archive lies abandoned.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
We are one.
Okay, so that Templar archive, that is the last of the bonus objectives, the buildings that we need to supply power to. Gives us a Protoss research point. And we're going to get to that shortly. And it's also what you need in your Protoss base in order to summon High Templars. What we're seeing here is some very narrow timing. I just got back in time to fend off one of the Protoss attacks and the hybrid. But this has been really good, and I've been able to wipe out that base on the kind of right there of the mini map, and we're going to be able to take that over and mine its resources, get that third building, power restored for the bonus objectives, wrap that up. That's it right there.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
You require my skills.
Okay, I was a little slow in getting the force over there to cut off the hybrid, so I ended up just taking it, all the way back here and fighting him here, but no big deal.
Our liberation is at hand. Ready yourself, noble warrior. We confront a terrible evil this day.
Okay, so that's the Templar archive, and that will allow us to make High Templars, which are, a really good unit, and you've heard me griping about them when I've had to fight them on the other missions because they get that storm ability. But most important, that just completes our bonus objectives. That's all our Protoss research right there. Now, our base looks pretty raggedy here.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
And that whole left bank of photon cannons has just been obliterated, but I'm just going to leave it. At this point, it would be a waste of resources because we're moving on. We're just about done here, and if other buildings get destroyed, big deal, but we're moving on to bigger and brighter pastures, and eventually we're going to just wipe out the other Protoss and permanently cut off this hybrid, so he probably won't ever even make it up here again.
Thus I serve. My charge. You must construct additional pilots. I return to serve.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
Base is under attack. The enemy closes. By your will. My life for iron. I return to serve. We are focused. Ula Sadari. For Artanis. to serve.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
I serve, state thy bidding. Cold is the void. It shall be, I am the voice of the eclipse.
You have not enough minerals.
Cold is the void.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
I return to serve. Vespine Geyser exhausted.
Let our enemy know our fury.
Okay, so some major expansion now. We got this base rolling over here on the right, starting the one on the left. There still is one more Protoss base down by where the preservers are and where the hybrid respawns, but we're just gonna chill here, permanently cut off the hybrid at this choke point here, and just build up a little bit and then gradually press in.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
Sabil. You must construct additional pylons. The enemy closes.
I serve. We are one. Cold is the void. You require
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
Let our enemy know our fury. Cold is. We are one with it. You require my skills. I am the voice of the eclipse. Intriguing. I am here in the shadow.
You can see how shitty it is trying to get across that bridge. It's just, we're so choked, and I gotta get my immortals over there to start hammering stuff, but they're getting chewed up by the air forces. They've got some battle cruisers and some void rays, so I need to get my stalkers, that can hit the air units. But it's all choked, and it's just a tough spot. So trying a little baiting here, and then pressing in some more later.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand.
There we go. That's a nice bait on those void rays. But yeah, again, it's just another example of, wow, B-Burner's just taking so long. He's so bad at these games. Why doesn't he just press in? Well, this is why, because you can wipe. You know, on brutal, you got to be pretty careful, and if you're not real good at micromanaging and just getting things to go the way you want them to go, then you've got to be extra careful. And so this is how we're doing it.
Spirits of the Preservers are entombed within. We must break them open immediately.
So this is looking good. It looks like we're going to make it, but look how small my force is now, Took a lot of casualties breaking through, and, I'm still just spamming summon, rally point here, I need to replenish my ranks.
Minerals.
Oblivion comes, none shall stand. You require my skill. Shall be as you say.
Mineral field depleted.
Very wise. I am here in the shadows. Cold is the void. I am the voice of the eclipse.
We have seen the prophetic fragments in your mind, Zeratul. We will make of them what we can. The cycle shall draw to its end. The Zelnaga who forged the stars will transcend their creation. Yet the Fallen One shall remain, destined to cover the void in shadow. It begins with the Great Hunger. It ends in utter darkness. A Great Hungerer. Could it refer to the Zerg Overmind? It has a part to play in this prophecy. I must seek out the Overmind's final resting place. Our ancient homeworld of ire.
All right, the plot thickens in the Prophecy quest line, and a pretty tough mission, but Blackburner's thoroughgoing thoroughness won the day again. All right, man, see you in the next episode.